let's talk about everything Zach Taylor said today. That was stupid. Let's talk about it. Starting off right away. Zach Taylor on why no coaching changes at this time. Look at that. Look at that face. When you believe in people, you don't make the gut reaction from what people want to see that aren't necessarily part of it. I understand the frustration. I get it. I trust every coach we have in this building. It's funny because the way he's saying that, it's like he's not the guy people want fired. Like, yes, there are some people who say we need to fire Al Golden, and listen, that's ridiculous. It's not Al Golden's fault. It's the fault of the freaking players. But, like, that's, oh, man. Zach and Duke needs to be fired, okay? The way he's saying this for Al. That's what he's saying this for. It's Al Golden. No one's saying to fire Dan Pitcher. No one's saying to fire the positional coach as well. Other than me. Because I want everyone fired. I want everyone fired. I just want everyone fired. I don't want Al Golden fired, but if it means that we get a better system and a better everything, that it is what it is, but I don't think it's his fault. I don't think it was Lou Anarumo's fault. But, beside the point, he's saying this as if, you know, he's not the guy on the chopping block. You're the guy on the chopping block, buddy. Like, you might want to look in the mirror once in a while. Next thing, this hit that happened goes to the Jets, if you guys remember. I'm sorry for that jump scare there. Right here, John Simpson went ahead and did a very cheap shot on Trey Hendrickson. Ended up hurting Trey Hendrickson. The NFL came out today, and they are officially saying that this is not going to get fined. John Simpson is not going to get fined for this, even though it was a cheap shot on the back of Trey Hendrickson. I find that funny how there are players who do way less than this. I mean, to a point where they do roughing the passer and they get fined $20,000, $30,000, or a player does a hip drop tackle, which is literally football, and they get fined $45,000. But instead, this right here does not get fined. Again, it's the consistency of the NFL. If it's the Bengals, we're not going to fine a player for doing a cheap shot and hurting somebody. But if it's somebody else, 100% we will. It's a sad reality. But this right here does not get fined, yet we're going to see something like a roughing the passer gets fined. And even to a point, you know how, like, again, roughing the passer, yes, you could obviously sack the guy. But also, if you do roughing the passer, you can also just hit his helmet. Like, you just put your hand in and hit the guy's helmet. That right there is a $7,000 fine. I don't know if you guys realize that, but if you do roughing the passer and you hit the guy in the head with your hand, not the body, your hand touches the helmet, just makes contact with the helmet, it's a 15-yard penalty, but it's also, according to the NFL rules, a $7,400 fine for doing that. This is not a fine. When the player's not looking, the player has no awareness of the guy coming after the play and hitting him, but we're going to say that it is a fine for you to touch a helmet of a quarterback after, like, after he threw the ball. Not even hurt him, just touch his helmet. So that's fantastic. Gotta love that. Again, like I said, just a consistency. Shout out to Drew. Zach doubled down on no staff changes. Said they're good on coaches when they've been successful everywhere they have been. Yep, just idiotic. Zach Taylor said Bengals coach Zach Taylor and defense coordinator Al Golden. I trust him. Taylor adds there's trust in the staff. There's no staff changes will be made following yesterday's loss. Of course not. They don't want any changes because they love what they are doing. Trey Hendrickson said, I'm sick for the fans, people who watch us in tough games. Moving forward, I think we'll make the corrections we need to. No, we won't. No, we won't. No, we won't at all. And I think this is another thing that we have to take in consideration. This is why you have to fire Zach Taylor and Duke Tobin. Okay, here's a key reason, okay? What defensive player in free agency wants to come to this? Like, just to take a second and think about that. If you're a big name free agent player, right, why would you want to come to Cincy? If the rest of the defense looks this bad, why would you ever want to come to Cincy? If you're Max Crosby, why would you want to be traded to Cincinnati? You know, like, it makes no sense. You would be the first person to veto it. Because you know, if you go to Cincinnati, they still got Zach Taylor. They still got Duke Tobin. They still got the same philosophy. So this is another reason why you need to get rid of these guys. Because if anything, you are making the most toxic, unwanted environment for any free agent to go to. We're at a point now where if you get drafted to Cincinnati, it's going to be like, oh no, don't get drafted there. That's the worst place to go. We're becoming the Cleveland quarterback situation, but with defensive players. This, again, like, you need to fire Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor. You need to clear house. You need to fix this. This is not just a small issue. This is a 5-year fix because there's no reason to come here. There's no reason at all. I mean, Bengals coach Zach Taylor took exception to running back Chase Brown's post-game comments regarding not finishing in the defense. Said he doesn't expect the type of reaction to happen again. What do you mean? Huh? And what Chase Brown said was right. What Chase Brown 1000% was right. Chase Brown spoke the truth. What do you mean? I would hope his reaction is like that again. I want more players more pissed off like that again. I don't want players sitting there and acting like Zach Taylor. See, this is the issue. This is the issue. We're accommodating this like, oh, well, make sure no one gets offended. Make sure no one gets hurt. We all have to be happy. Like, get the fluff out of here. Zach, please stop. Geno Stone said on why tackling isn't better. When we're put in one-on-one situations, we just got to win. Looking at it now, we've got to be perfect. That's what the world we live in right now. It is what it is. If we make one mistake, the whole world is going to blow it up. We got to be perfect. No one is going to give a fluff about it. No, that's not true, Gino. That's not true. You can make a mistake. You can make here and there. You can make a mistake, right? That's not the issue. The issue is when you make $20 billion. Could have one mistake, we can give you a pass, okay? 2 mistakes, well, we might be like, come on, man, you know? 3 mistakes, we're like, dude, you got to get better. When you're at 57 in one game, that's when we're like, I think there's a problem. Okay, so no, it's not just one little mistake. You don't have to play perfect. Every player messes up from time to time. The problem is, you guys make it a consistent thing. Like, you know they say consistency is key? Yeah, it's not key when your consistency is losing and doing bad. That's the problem, Gino. Cut him off the team. I want him gone too. I don't want him back next year. I love every guy we have, but everyone has got to want it. Okay. What? He has a heart-to-heart with DCL Golden on Monday. Why wasn't this done after the Jets game? We lose to the Jets, and all I'm hearing is, we're doing a player-only meeting, guys. We're doing a player-only meeting. We're all going to come together as players and talk. Like, we lose this game and it's like, we're doing heart-to-heart meetings. Like, could this have happened after the Jets game? Man. Yeah, that's cool. I don't really care about special teams. Hasn't really been a problem. Obviously, the missed field goal attempt, a 54-yard kick by Evan McPherson sucks. But let's be honest, this is little to zero chance of that being even that big of a deal to me. Like, Evan missed a field goal. He missed one this year. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm not mad at him at all. And again, hey, buddy. Hey, guess what? Guess what? Gino, you said we can't make mistakes, right? Who here is yelling at Evan McPherson? Go on Twitter. Go on social media. Who is mad at Evan McPherson for this loss? He missed the kick. He missed a 54-yard field goal in this game. Who's mad at him? Nobody. You know why? You can make mistakes. You can. 100%. But you can't make them consistently. You can miss one field goal in a game. We'll be mad. We'll be angry. Be upset. We'll get over it. Now, if Evan McPherson goes out there and misses 6 in a game, then we're going to be pretty ticked off. It's not rocket science. This is not rocket science at all. This is very simplistic. Anyway, we're resisting the temptation to install layers after layer. That's not who we are right now. Of course not. Ask Zach Taylor why he believes in the status quo and not making major changes in his coaching personnel. Is the status quo acceptable? Why don't you make changes? Because I've been through this situation before. I know you got fired, and it was a beautiful sight. We've been through this situation many times, and we come out on the other side playing for the championships. Oh, no. Stop this. He's doing it again. He's doing it again. He's doing it again. You know what he's doing? He's doing the typical, well, we won championships doing this. We got to the Super Bowl doing this. Stop with that mentality. I understand it's broken. But you can't, I mean, I understand one time it worked 5 years ago. 5 years ago! Oh, man. He has this mentality all the time. I'm not reading all that crap, actually. He has that mentality all the time. That it worked 5 years ago, so he's going to keep doing the same philosophy that got him there the first time. Dude, that doesn't work. That philosophy was don't protect Joe Burrow. Hope and pray your defense gets the job done. And pray all bloody heck that it works. That's when we had Jesse Bates. That's when we had DJ Reader. Okay? Yeah, it worked when you have great players. I love the group we have. That's been selected. Personnel wasn't the reason we lost yesterday. Okay, sure, whatever. I have to do a better job. There's no doubt about it. We have we don't have to be perfect on defense. I take personally, we have great men in the locker room like Geno Stone. Disagree. He's a piece of crap. Not as a person, but as a player. There are 2 big plays that could have led to points. I trust that's a one-time thing. Why would you trust that's a one-time thing? Why? They've done it every single time. At some point, you gotta that's just stupidity. I trust that that's a one-time thing. No, that's not a one-time thing. Zach Taylor, my Chase brought him the 2 mistakes he had, dropped miscommunication. Taylor said, I would rather he not have gone off that way the post game. I love Chase to death. Why would you not want him to go off in the post game? Why don't you want your players to be passionate and angry and upset with what's happening? Not everyone's going to sit there and say, oh, it's all good, it's all happy, when it's not. Zach, why don't you want any passion? Because I think the problem is when people start getting passionate, they start looking for answers. When they start looking for answers, they start figuring things out, and they start realizing Zach Taylor is the problem. And I don't think he wants them to do that. I believe we're going to start playing at a high level. Why? What makes you think we're going to start playing at a high level? What did you get from this Bears game that would show you we're going to start playing at a high level? Where do you look at this Bears game and go, That's some great takeaways. Was it the fact that Poison Ivy jumped off sides with a missed field goal? Was it the fact that Demetrius Knight Jr. had a illegal contact when we stopped him on the first drive? Was it the fact that we got absolutely blasted with 52 seconds left and they went down and scored a touchdown? At what point did you look at this and say, that's where I see we're going to start playing at a high level? You're an idiot. You're an idiot. I know he's getting after it, Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's not getting out of anything. Joe Burrow's going to enjoy the rest of this year, and he's not coming back. And he's going to sit on that bench, and he's going to enjoy being on the bench. Because you know what? I think what he needs to start doing, he needs to start learning how to be a head coach. Because he's about to be the first player-head coach combo. Good job, Zach. You're getting replaced by Joe Burrow. That would actually be really cool, by the way. We all want to be better. We don't want to be at the record we're at. Does he just say the most stupid, obvious things, like, ever? Like, he literally is like a politician. It's funny because they actually show him right here, White House crap on the screen. I don't know why, for an advertisement. But he says the most stupidly obvious crap ever. And he just spews it out of his mouth like venomous lava. It's the stupidest crap. Like, you know how much we could get through as a team if he just cut out all that stupid crap he says? Absolutely, absolutely I do. Zach, if he believes the answers are in the building. Of course he does. Yes, he believes the answers are in the building. You know why? Because he doesn't want to get fired. Every answer he says is so he doesn't get fired. That's why he's saying this. Because he believes that he wants everyone to stay there so he can keep status quo and he doesn't get fired. He's working like crazy looking for solutions. We're all sick. Zach Taylor and his vote confidence for Al Golden. Al Golden's the last thing of my concern right now. T. Higgins came out clean. High ankle sprain. Samaje Perine. Great. Knee issue for Shamar Stewart week to week. Shamar Stewart's week to week. Cut him. Actually, no, trade him. I would trade him right now. I'm done with Shamar Stewart. I'm absolutely done with Shamar Stewart. And you know the funny thing is, Shamar Stewart, the reason why I'm done with him is obviously because Myles Murphy. Because I was so committed and so excited for Myles Murphy. I have a Myles Murphy signed jersey on my wall. Okay? I got that jersey once we drafted him. That's not freaking cheap, by the way. That was not cheap. It's never cheap to get a signed jersey whenever you first draft a guy. Because everyone is so hyped on the player. I got that jersey, and he's been dog crap, okay? So when I see Shamar Stewart and I see the same consistency, I see the same problems as Myles Murphy, is Shamar Stewart a bust? No. You can never say it this early. You have to give it time. It's a whole process. But in my heart of heart, I think he is a bust. Okay? Because I see the same thing as Myles Murphy. I see the same exact philosophy. And that's why I would say he's a bust. Jordan Battle up front, direct Monday about Sunday's defensive breakdown. Correct what we can correct. Okay, so technically speaking, physically speaking, you guys could pick up Zach Taylor and throw him into the Ohio River. That is something you could correct. You want competitors in the National Football League. You want tough guys, I think. Chase embodies all of that. Trey Hendrickson on, yeah, obviously. You are where your feet are. Trey Hendrickson taking tomorrow's trade deadline as it comes. True. We're not going to trade you, Trey. Don't worry, buddy. All the teams around the league claim that they don't even think that, they don't even consider the Bengals being interested in trading you. So you're good, buddy. You're going to be here for the rest of the week. So this is a long version of it, 146. Pretty much, I'm just going to summarize what Trey says here because I saw it earlier. Trey Hendrickson talks about the cheap shot by the Jets guy, how the guy hit him in the back. The way Trey's saying is just like, hey, it's football. It is what it is, you know. I wish the NFL would be maybe a little bit different on it, but if the NFL doesn't see it as a wrong thing, then it's not a wrong thing, pretty much. I'll just play it. Why not?
basically gave you a shot in the back.
Sure, twice, yeah. So, where are we at?
How is the back feeling?
You know, it reads hip. You know, it's something that I've kind of already stated. It's is new territory for me. Newfound respect for guys that I've played with that have played through injuries. Cam Jordan, you know, Sam Hubbard, DJ Reader, guys that are toughing it out for the cause and stuff like that. So it's just new perspective and in year 9. So again, love what I do. Excited to get healthy and get back at it.
Statistically, it's the worst defense in the league. How tough, as a guy who takes a lot of pride in what you do and kind of how the group plays, how tough is that for 9 games in just not to have the results y'all are hoping for?
Well, I mean, it's got to be tough on the players. It's got to be tough on the fans, and the coaches want it just as bad as we do, and organizationally as well. So, I mean, it's something that I think we all share that burden. It's unfortunate, but you know, moving forward, we can only make corrections. I think the bye week came at the right time. Let's, you know, gather the troops and do what we know we can do.
Does it feel like the defense is outmatched when you all take the field?
No, never. I don't think I've lined up against somebody that I've believed I was outmatched. I hope for the sake of the rest of the 10 guys, it's the same mindset. And, you know, I do believe that, you know, to identify these kind of issues. Like I also mentioned, I thank God that I'm a defensive end. I don't have to evaluate where everybody else is. But, you know, as a captain, I try to bring guys up and lead this defense, you know. And the great thing about the NFL is, you know, there's a first and a last, and that's what makes it special. So identifying these problems is a new hurdle, and we'll get that squared away.
So
That was not at all what I thought that was. All right, so yeah, that was not at all what I thought it was. There's a better interview about this, but the quote-unquote the better interview, I would say, was done by a different reporter, and I thought that was this one. But all the guy asked was about the cheap shot, and he just said, hey, if the NFL doesn't see it as wrong, then I guess it's not wrong. That's pretty much all it was said, but I thought that was different. Okay. Anyway, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.